Silence is the only teaching, and the only teacher that is there all the time. In 1968, the assassinations of Martin Luther King Jr. and Robert F. Kennedy shattered the American psyche, thrusting many into a profound existential crisis. This video delves into how such historical fractures can serve as catalysts for awakening, examining the role of death as a teacher and the challenges of navigating the Plateau phase. Through a lens that honors multiple traditions, we explore the double-edged nature of disorientation on the path to enlightenment. The confrontation with mortality has long been a catalyst for ego dissolution, guiding individuals towards a deeper understanding of life's impermanence. In Hindu tradition, the Bhagavad Gita offers insights through Krishna's teachings on the transient nature of the self, emphasizing the importance of detachment and acceptance. Modern research, including studies by Raymond Moody and Kenneth Ring, reveals that near-death experiences often precipitate profound shifts in consciousness, underscoring the transformative power of facing death. These experiences often evoke a psychological mechanism known as terror management, where the awareness of mortality prompts a re-evaluation of one's values and beliefs. For instance, a palliative care patient might suddenly prioritize relationships and meaningful experiences over material success, finding a sense of peace and clarity in the face of their own mortality. This process mirrors the mirror-like quality of death, reflecting the transient nature of the ego and inviting a more authentic and compassionate engagement with life. A pivotal moment in history, when enlightenment was suppressed, occurred during the Inquisition, where spiritual knowledge was weaponized to maintain power. Figures like Giordano Bruno, a philosopher and mathematician, were persecuted for their ideas, highlighting the deep tension between spiritual freedom and institutional control. This suppression reveals the structural relationship between power and spiritual knowledge, where those in power often seek to control or eliminate competing narratives. The psychological mechanism of projection played a significant role, as the Church projected its own fears and insecurities onto those who challenged its authority. This historical context underscores the ongoing struggle for authentic spiritual expression, where individuals must navigate the complex interplay between personal insight and institutional constraints. After the initial breakthrough, the journey to enlightenment often encounters a plateau where stabilization occurs, but old patterns resurface and progress can be slow. This phase is challenging because it demands sustained effort and a willingness to confront deeper layers of the self. Many stop here as the initial excitement fades and the work becomes more subtle and less visible. The plateau is a critical phase where true integration of insights occurs, requiring patience and persistence. In Zen Buddhism, this stage is likened to the dark night of the soul, where practitioners must navigate through a period of inner turmoil and uncertainty. This phase can be seen as a form of psychological resilience training, where one learns to endure and grow through the quiet, often unglamorous work of self-refinement. Embodied moment can be framed as a systems problem inside the person, not as a slogan problem. In early desert monastic reflection, teachers emphasized implementation fidelity. The same principle must survive pressure, conflict, and social friction. A practical example clarifies the demand. A late message from family is read as criticism, even before the full context is known. Under load, ruminative looping, under uncertainty, dominates and converts open attention into predictable self-justification. The correction is operational and concrete. Pause long enough to reduce reactivity, describe the current signal without embellishment, and execute one action that repairs trust. This is how insight is validated, because outcomes change in relationships and work rather than only in private language. What happens when we name the defense before we justify it? The path to enlightenment can be co-opted by the very ego it seeks to transcend. This subtle trap occurs when individuals use spiritual language to veil their ego's ambitions. This inversion can manifest as a spiritual ego that perceives itself as superior, or as a means to avoid deeper introspection. The shadow side of enlightenment is not just about bypassing, but about the ego's capacity to clothe itself in the language of awakening. Carl Jung's concept of the shadow, the unconscious part of the psyche that contains repressed aspects of the self, illuminates this dynamic. Recognizing this trap is essential for genuine spiritual growth, as it requires acknowledging and integrating these hidden aspects, rather than projecting them onto others or denying their existence. What does it mean to live in the silence? And how does the ego persist even in the face of enlightenment?